How do you feel about the Bond situation?
Ooh, good question.
It's an interesting one.
It's
Obviously,
like a whole thing right now. So like, I don't even know where we're at with it, quite frankly. But
Amazon owns it, man.
I'm
yeah,
not.
but it's like,
I'm not. I'm not. I've not watched it, but I've heard from people who watch Reacher that it's a really faithful adaptation.
I've heard that as well.
So that's like in the back of my mind as like maybe, like I think it's Amy Pascal and who else has signed on as producers? I can't remember the other one. It's
for
Reacher?
Bond.
Yeah, for Bond. It's Amy Pascal.
So that's the thing is, I forget who it was, but whoever it was, I think is gone. Jennifer Salke or something like that. I think
No, somebody else. Someone I think who was involved in the Wizarding World movies.
the newer Wizarding World movies, or
no, are you talking about? Is it Mark something? From Heyday Films.
It's that, or it might be David Heyman. I think maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. David Heyman. Yeah,
I think it's David Heyman and Amy Pascal have been signed on as producers. So, from what some of the stuff they've put out is obviously stuff I really enjoy, and it just depends how they go with it. It really, I'm going to give it the chance. But thankfully, and Tim knows because he messaged me straight away after seeing that film. No Time to Die is such a good ending.
I agree.
Like I've spoken about this before, I think it does the perfect balance of everything you expect from a Bond plus all this new stuff that you don't expect really well. Mm-hmm. Like you get Q doing the gadgets, you get the car chase, you get the 00 at the beginning, but then you get all the stuff with Matilda, and all the stuff that's not really Bond, but it works. And I think they stick the landing. I remember when that film ended and I went, I don't know how I feel about this ending.
I feel like they created a character that is very much a departure from what we knew Bond to be. And as far as the ending for that character, I think those 5 movies are very good.
Yes.
Like
that the ending for that Bond probably just trumps Laying on a Bed of Diamonds with Halle Berry. There's I think what Night Time does really well is references old Bond movies in a way that if you don't know them, doesn't tarnish your viewing of the film.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Something as simple as Felix Leiter smoking Delectado cigars, which is what Bond has made in Die Another Day.
Mm-hmm.
You don't care about that if you've never seen Die Another Day, but for a die-hard Bond fan, it's like, oh, nice touch. I like that.
I think what you said though about going back to Amazon having the rights and what you said about Reacher, I've heard only good things about Jack Ryan, which I have not watched.
No, I've not watched it.
Only good things about Reacher. And they've also done Rings of Power, which, say what you will about it, I've watched both seasons.
So have I. Yeah.
I liked season 2 a lot more, but they're definitely pulling from lore. Then you have The Boys. You haven't.
I've heard the opposite. So I haven't seen the Rings of Power, but I've heard the opposite. I've heard they are like changing lore, and
no. I wouldn't say they're changing lore. I would say they're taking things and then expanding on them, like taking things that aren't. Like they're taking 2 sentences of content and churning an episode out of it instead of like. Again, it's not my favorite, but I'm saying they're not like. My point is that
they're not taking the law and burning it to
the Boys, Invincible, like
3 seasons of The Boys are great. The last one was god awful.
I have not seen season 4 yet, but
I hated it.
Hi.
Hello.
So I'm just saying that I think it's possible that they could be truly faithful.
Yeah, they could.
So keep talking though.
But I think the casting is important.
So I was going to ask you, Barbara Broccoli, who Albert Broccoli's daughter.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she signed away the rights to Amazon, but basically said like this better be a British guy.
Yeah. I don't think Amazon would, even in their wildest dreams.
I've heard some things.
But it's weird because everyone sort of has their, once Daniel Craig sort of finished with No Time, everyone sort of had their mind sort of go with who they wanted.
Yeah,
But the longer we go, the more those choices don't make sense.
correct.
Like for ages, it was Idris Elba, and I thought
It's too
not
old.
a bad choice. Not a bad choice. He's older than Daniel Craig was in Skyfall when he said he wanted to slash his wrists.
Yep.
So that's out. For a while, I was quite on board, especially after I saw that series, The Night Manager. I was really on board with Tom Hiddleston.
That show was good. I remember
that series. You were like, oh yeah, he could do like a 60s style Bond. He could be really good at that. I don't hate the idea of Aaron Taylor Johnson. I watched Bullet Train again recently, and he's so good at that. And
he's so handsome.
I don't hate that idea. I don't think it's the worst idea, but I think a lot of the people that I was never on board with Tom Hardy. I never thought that would work.
No, he's too big.
I feel like they just got to go with someone whose name like we don't know.
Yeah.
Like how famous was Daniel?
Trained stage actor who's in like his 20s or 30s. Get a good 6 to 7 movies out of him, and just like.
But
I don't even know if you said it in modern day or if you go back and say like.
I said the same thing. You could do a 60s Cold War spy thriller quite easily and adapt from the books. I've started
like
reading
Uncle style, like
Like,
here's some.
Cavill's sort of out now.
Yeah,
he's gone.
I just feel like they should stop. They, meaning like the movie industry globally, should stop casting people in all of these prominent roles. Like I know Harrison Ford was a thing. He was in Star Wars, then he was Indiana Jones, then he was Air Force One, and I know this has been a thing for quite some time, but like I'm not excited for, not to derail. So let me just say this one thing about Fantastic Four. I'm not excited for Pedro Pascal because I've seen him everywhere. I'm just like, he's like, I'm tired. I'm just tired of seeing him, even though I think he's a very good actor. Like I'm just tired of seeing him. So I feel like I don't know who David Corn Sweat is.
Yeah,
I'm kind of excited to see him as Superman because he looks like Superman, and maybe he'll be great. But like my mind does not associate him with anything else.
He's very good in Twisters.
Oh, cool.
And Pearl.
Yes.
They have talked about Joe doing like spin-off cinematic universe shit, and I think that's a terrible idea. Like a Moneypenny show they mentioned, or something like that.
The only way you could maybe do that is just by having double O's.
Maybe.
Just like this isn't Bond. This is 004. Go on.
What if
you wouldn't have to stick too much to who you're casting? That you could have a one spin-off of a 004, and that's Idris Elba, and then you could have this is 009, and it's Henry Cavill, and like it's not Bond. And then
I don't hate that idea actually.
I'm okay with that.
Hear me out. What if their first show was a spin-off? No movies, nothing. It's a spin-off, but it's Felix Leiter, so it's all American people. the UK James Bond fans would like lose their ever-loving minds.
Right. If it's a prequel and you bring back, you use Jeffrey Wright, I'm on board with it because Jeffrey Wright's great as Felix Leiter. He really is. He's a great Jim Gordon. He's a great Felix. Like he crushes wherever.
Oh, he's great in everything. Like Maggie and I were talking about him last night because he's in season 2 of The Last of Us, and he's reprising his character that he played in the video game, and so it's like I'm so excited. he's the best.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm nervous, and I do not have, because like all the shows you just named, I watched like 2 episodes of Rings of Power, and I was just like, I'm just bored. Like, I just didn't want to finish it. I'm not a big TV guy, but then I think they've ruined The Boys. I think Invincible's going very, very strong right now, which is awesome. We never did that Invincible review, but it's great.
Yeah, it's very good.
But overall, I have no faith.
You don't have faith in many things.
True.
You can be pleasantly surprised when they're good though, with that attitude.
It's like, I don't know. You're asking me to have faith in people who like continually don't do well.
I'm not asking you that,
Oh, well, someone is.
Benny.
Someone out there is saying, please come back, spend your money on this thing. And I'm like, no, the last thing was awful. Why should I keep spending my money here?
Speaking of things Joe loves, have you watched Andor yet?
I just finished episode 3 earlier today. So
I haven't watched it yet. I haven't seen the new
I'm very much enjoying Andor. I know they've just started filming Ahsoka season 2, which I really enjoyed.
I enjoyed Ahsoka quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watch Skeleton Crew? Because I did not.
I did. It was good.
I've heard that it's good, just no one saw it. And
it wasn't my favorite Star Wars thing, but that was fun. It was just fun. It was just fun.
It's like when you make a bunch of shit, no one wants to come see the good stuff you make.
Like, this is the thing, because I did watch The Acolyte.
So did I.
And there were bits of it I really didn't enjoy. But episode 5's lightsaber battle is
so good.
One of the most incredible lightsaber battles they've put to screen.
When that dude headbutts the lightsaber with his helmet, I screamed. Like, it is so good.
They just went, you know what, this episode, it's just going to be a lightsaber battle for the entire episode. And we are going to put some serious choreography into this. And I was like, okay, now you're cooking. This is, and that was, it's kind of worth watching the whole show.
What'd you say? Sorry.
It was kind of worth watching the whole show just for that episode.
I refuse to believe that, but I'll take it word for it.
There were people that I talked to that aren't, let me rephrase, they are nerds, but not like us nerds. They're nerds in the sense that, like,
but they can pass for normal.
Yes. And meaning they're older than us, so they grew up with the original trilogy, like in the 70s and the 80s. Like, they've been around longer. And they watched that show and enjoyed it. And I'm like, good. Like, I'm glad you liked it. I hated it. Like, I thought it was terrible. But like, so I think sometimes it's tough when we're in a bubble. Especially with TV, because like it's just so like I think people will watch an episode, okay, great, whatever, move on with their lives. It's a little harder with movies when you have to take the chunk out of your time, go to the theater, blah blah blah. I see a little bit more of like I feel a little bit more of the reception of the movies just from working there, like Nick and I reviewed Captain America. We both liked it fine, I think.
It's fine.
It was fine.
And I'm actually going to rewatch it this week before Thunderbolts. But I'm
imagining I'll have to rewatch it sometime soon.
Yeah, May 13th.
We're good. We're good for a little bit.
Yeah, you're good. But like that one, I could tell just like from the guests, like coming out, like people weren't like freaking out like about it at my theater versus something like when I was at the theater for, I mean, it's a huge example, but Endgame, Force Awakens, like these big event like things when they were happening. Like I could kind of feel that. But my point was that like the normies don't get as aggravated about the Acolyte as
that's the problem though, is they don't get aggravated, they just get disinterested.
Yeah.
And then
I'm not saying it's not a problem. I'm just saying that like we get about it.
I mean, I'm not even like it because I didn't watch it. So like,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've been trying to get sort of slightly better at like the aggravation and just kind of been like, maybe this just wasn't for me. Like there like in the last 2 years, there have been 4 or 5 Star Wars shows. And Book of Boba Fett wasn't great for me. Didn't enjoy it.
Like it either.
Mandalorian's still great. I still enjoy The Mandalorian. Andor's been great. Ahsoka was great. Didn't care too much for The Acolyte. Skeleton Crew was fine. But I was like, oh, that's 3 of the shows that I thought, I really enjoyed those.
Did you like
and that's great, but you are an atypical person in that you will watch the next thing.
Yeah.
Someone else will watch the Book of Boba Fett and go, okay, I'm not watching the rest of these. Like, this is a waste of my time. And then no more Star Wars. And then, like, that's how that ends. You know what I mean? So that's where it frustrates me more, where like I could say I haven't seen The Acolyte, but I could say not a lot of people saw The Acolyte because of probably what came before it, combined with like the marketing material and stuff like that.
That's
And
that's
it's no
definitely
more
true.
of a thing.
That's definitely true. I've noticed it the last couple of weeks with one of my favorite shows of all time, which is Doctor Who, and there are people who watched when it revived. You had Christopher Eccleston, David Tennant, Matt Smith, Peter Capaldi, and then they got a new head writer in when Jodie Whittaker took over, and the writing just wasn't good.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's a
I
great.
think they're getting ready to cancel it, and that's like the longest running show of all time, or something like.
And that's the thing. And then 60th anniversary happened. They brought back David Tennant, and I think that tried to get some people back. And I'm seeing people now saying, I stopped watching after this. And the last 2 episodes that have been on have been phenomenal. Like I was like, this is like watching it back in 2007, like when it was David Tennant and Matt Smith and all this. Like the last 2 really were, and I still look at the ratings and all that, and I'm like, I can't remember the last time an episode got rated 8.7 on IMDb.
I heard this new guy is really good. This is his 2nd year, right?
It is his 2nd year. I'd never watched the show he was in before in Sex Education. The only thing I'd seen him in was as a background sort of Ken in Barbie. And
oh, that's right. I forgot he was in that. Maggie watched Sex Education and she really liked it, so she was interested just based on him.
Yeah, and they've got the old head writer back from when it revived in 2005, and I really am into, like, first season was mixed. There was some really good stuff, and then there's stuff that wasn't as good. And then with 3 episodes in, first one's okay, and then 2 and 3, I was like, okay, I'm locked in again. I'm properly locked in again.
I feel like there's something different going on, because like I'm sure throughout Doctor Who's run, you had a couple stinker episodes.
Having watched pretty much everything that's available that they didn't destroy back in the 60s, there's some interesting.
I'm sure there's some bad shit, but people kept coming back, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like the motivation behind the people making it, where that's turning audiences off. But like Daredevil did abysmal.
It's good.
I maybe it is, but I didn't watch it because of all the crap that came before it. I don't want to.
I haven't got to it yet. I still haven't. I didn't finish Echo, and because of that, I didn't get onto Agatha all along, and then haven't done Daredevil.
And Daredevil's like their most popular TV character. Like Daredevil, the Netflix series, was their most popular television thing ever. This should have been a home run, and no one cares anymore. And I say this not to be like, haha, Marvel, you suck. I say it because I'm sick. Because I want this shit to be good, and I want them to keep making shit, but that's not gonna happen.
Well, but honestly, at a certain point, I don't see that as a net negative, because they've got to earn it back. So if this is good,
true.
If Daredevil Born Again is good, which it is, I haven't seen the last 2 just because I've been ridiculously busy, and Maggie watches it with me, and so for our schedules to align to watch an hour of television, it's tough. But I really like it, and so they do need to earn it back. And if that means that Nick saw Captain America and went, okay, you haven't earned me back yet, but yeah. But then he goes to see Thunderbolts, and if you like that, you're like, okay,
yeah.
It's gonna take 3 or 4 or 5 of those before the word of mouth gets to.
For me, though, me as like a guy with all this shit on my wall.
I understand, but I understand. I'm saying that like you're the last piece of the puzzle. Then it's the normies.
No, I'm the first piece of the puzzle.
No, I disagree.
The normies got off the train and they're never getting back on.
I disagree, because there's people who in phase 1 and 2 of the MCU would never go see Ant-Man. And that's proven by the box office numbers. But by the time Captain America 3 comes out, there's an Ant-Man in this movie, I'm going to go back and watch the first one. And by the time phase 3 was ending, everybody was seeing everything. What?
That's different. That was them starting from zero and building it up.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a lot harder.
They have to do that again now.
Picture it this way. It's a lot harder to earn a friend's trust back after you have scorned them.
Yes.
Than it is to just become friends with someone.
Yes.
So that's where we're at.
I
Is
know.
the MCU slowly made friends out of all these people, and all these normal people that friend
I know. And
slept
I'm
with their
saying
girlfriend.
I'm saying if it's like the nerds here, and you go down to the normies are now the first ones to come back, and it has to go back up to the nerds, like you, the ones that were really
The normies aren't coming back. I disagree. I think the normies aren't coming back.
Oh, you're not in the theater every day when they come out. I think they definitely are. Like, I just based on like ticket sales and everything, and like I think
Captain America 4 lost money.
I know that, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that like I see how these movies are doing with the normal people, and that's my point, is that like the people like you aren't going to see that movie 5-6 times like you would have years ago. But the normal audiences are still going to see Captain America, but not even me. Like, I only saw it once. I saw Eternals 5 times in the it's a different world. But I think it's safe to say that like, yeah, there's definitely an overabundance of material.
I think we're in the rough patch of time to course correct. And you know what? Part of me believes they will. So, great.
But Star Wars, directed by Sean Levy.
With Ryan Gosling.
Yep.
It just doesn't excite me even a little bit.
It does for me because
it doesn't make me feel like upset, but like I'm just kind of like, okay.
It's what I've wanted Disney to do since the beginning, is tell me a story that has nothing to do with the Skywalkers, but have it be good. Like
the Acolyte, Skeleton Crew, the Mandalorian.
I know. That's what I'm saying. But no. I'm saying like I don't want it to be even remotely adjacent. Like Acolyte and Skeleton Crew. Actually, I haven't seen Skeleton Crew, so I can't speak to it. Acolyte is the only thing so far that hasn't taken place in a 30-year span around Tatooine and Naboo.
The Rise of the Empire.
I want to see something that just feels different. You have such a big universe, just like that's why I like the animated stuff, even though the animated stuff takes place in that time period, like Clone Wars, Rebels, Bad Batch, but it feels different. There's an energy to it that is very different from the Skywalker saga. And so I'm cool with a Starfighter, a Star Wars story, or whatever they're going to call it. Just like have it feel like, tell me a story in this world, and just put some different energy into it. Kind of like old MCU, how Winter Soldier was a spy thriller, Ant-Man was a heist comedy. Like, shake it up, do different shit, and don't make me watch 4 of them a year. like at minimum 1, but spread them out. Like Mandalorian and Grogu is coming out next year. Wait a couple of years for the next movie. Then what? You don't like the Mando movie?
Dude, okay, so I did not like season 3. I think season 2 ended quite well, and then
I would agree.
Season 3, they butchered the shit out of it.
That was probably the fastest I've ever messaged David on the season 2 finale of The Mandalorian. That was a moment for us as Return of the Jedi being our favorite film, Luke Skywalker being our favorite character, that was like, oh, they're doing this. Oh my! That was probably the best reaction I've had to a TV show for a long time.
Yeah, I loved it too.
Incredible, and it was just that was perfect. Thank you.
How did you feel 2 months later when they shit all over it?
Yeah, no, I think 3 is definitely the weakest, and I don't like Book of Boba Fett, but I still enjoyed it overall.
I didn't think 3 was very good.
That's fair.
Making a movie called The Mandalorian and Grogu just tells me that they have no creativity left. That's what it tells me. Like maybe this Ryan Gosling thing will be cool, but like people like Baby Yoda, so let's put him on screen. That'll make it like, come on.
I like the last film Sean Levy brought out. I'll say that.
I do too, but it also felt like a
Till you're
Deadpool and
9.
Wolverine very much feels like let's throw all the shit that people like on screen at once, and people.
No, that's the Chairs video. That's
No, that'll piss people off. But anyway, I've ranted again. Apologies, audience.